Good day for the Secret Service, and that's understating it. The Senate is out with a scathing report. It's blaming the agency for multiple missteps leading up to the first assassination attempt against former President Trump. Here's perhaps the most shocking finding. An inexperienced agent that was in charge of the drone had to call a toll-free number for help after technical issues downed the device meant to surveil the rally site. Meanwhile, the Trump campaign revealing intelligence officials have briefed the former president on Iranian threats to assassinate him. Trump talked about that earlier.
No threat will shake me. No enemy will intimidate me. And I have never been more determined than I am today. If I were the president, I would inform the threatening country, in this case Iran, that if you do anything to harm this person, we are going to blow your largest cities and the country itself to smithereens.
That's kind of talk I like.
Yeah, speaking the language of the maniacs. It's amazing how maniacs suddenly become sane when they know they're going to die. Look at Hezbollah. Nobody's... All their phone calls are going to voicemail right now. It is interesting, though. I never understood the insanity plea. After you commit a crime and you run from the cops, that makes you sane. Same thing here. I think it was wrong to blame the agents. They may not have been experienced, but it's the opportunity cost of the competing directives that saddles all industries. And that's why I think we ran into this problem with the Secret Service. Whether you're trying to make a profit, you're trying to make a great product or protect a candidate, the introduction of DEI created a competing goal that was equal to the primary goal. And that was draining to the operation. You handicap the primary mission. And I think that was a profound distraction. And by the way, you're seeing it in every company, and that's why they're ditching it. It's a very sensitive subject to bring up right now, but that's what it is.
And Judge, you basically had such systemic failure that you're close to institutional collapse at the Secret Service.
You know, Dana, the truth is that in any job across this country, if you don't come up to the basic requirements of what the job requires you to do, you're going to lose your job. There's no second chances. You don't get, I'm tired of lessons learned. I've said it a million times. You read this report and it's everything that Blumenthal said it was. It's outrageous. It's shocking. I mean, we've got, the Secret Service knew there was a guy with a rangefinder 30 minutes before. They were notified about an individual on the roof 2 minutes before, but never communicated it to the people on the stage. And the guy with the drone is on the 800 toll-free line with the manufacturer. And, there's something to be said, Greg, for, you want the rank and file. But I also think that whether DEI is responsible for that, you get cops who apply for jobs and get jobs with police departments all over this country. They go through basic training. And once they're on the job and they can't do the job, they're gone. And, so I see a difference between management and the rank and file. The management is so politicized that apparently Cheadle worked for Jill Biden before she was made the head of Secret Service. And this guy, Rowe, who's now the acting director, apparently was a Democrat staffer who worked for Pat Leahy and then worked in the Obama administration, but he was a Democrat operative. Yeah. And it's time we took it seriously. You've got an ex-president who was almost killed twice. That is shocking and that is embarrassing. And I guess in the end, what we have to recognize is that if we do allow someone in this country who hates this country, like the president of Iran, and we provide him Secret Service protection, and we can't provide the fundamental Secret Service protection to the president of the United States, we got a problem. I said it before, and I say it now with an exclamation at the end. Some things are so negligent, so reckless that they border on the intentional.
And Jesse, as the judge just said, Iran's president was just a few blocks away. It would seem that we would have some leverage here today.
Oops, your security detail didn't show up. Go over to 8th Avenue where the junkies and migrants live.
I was there today. It's not good.
Sorry. Maybe take a subway instead of the limo. Yeah, that'd be a nice little revenge. Biden wouldn't have the brains to pull it off, though. I found some weird stuff in this report.
Okay.
The counter snipers said they heard bullets whizzing past their heads. Now, these guys are former Army. They know when bullets are flying. How are bullets flying past their head? Where'd those come from? The lead agent said, her name's Meredith, said that she was never told there was a security threat. She was never told there was an Iranian threat. But she got counter snipers for the first time. That's coincidental. And so this Meredith woman was a mess. I don't know whether she was a DEI hire. I don't know anything about this woman, but no one knew she was in charge. She never put anybody in charge of the AGR building. She never swept the AGR building. And the sniper's view of the AGR building was obstructed, and they never did anything about it. It also said they requested more resources for this rally, denied. You know, they requested these counter surveillance units. 15,000 people, outside rally, said no. Jill Biden, indoor rally event, 400 people, she got counter surveillance units. The radios weren't working, and the counter sniper saw his guys running to the roof, guns out, and he never radioed to Trump's team, get him off the stage. That's messed up.
Harold, these right now for the rank and file, like they still have to do their jobs every day. They have an important job to do, and they have to fix this plane while it's flying in the air. Is it time for like an emergency management takeover?
It very well could be. I don't differ with anything said at the table other than the DEI stuff. I think that the fact that the president, well, let's see, President Trump now has the security apparatus that President Biden has. He should absolutely have that. I differ a little bit, Judge. I think you have to take lessons learned. I understand your frustration and, frankly, your anger. I am, too. I think an outside group probably does have to come in. I listened to Blumenthal and I listened to Gary Peters, the senator from Michigan, and they expressed the same kind of outrage and how incomprehensible that this is. I think when an average American, everyday American thinks about the protection for the president, these are the last breaches you think that there might be. You might think there's something more sophisticated. They couldn't get the basic things they needed, resources. They couldn't get, the drone went down, they had to call a 1-800 number. It's unbelievable to me. I don't know if I think it was intentional, but I don't. This is, and the only thing I regret about it coming out publicly is that I think people whom are enemies of our president and want to kill President Trump, or for that matter, any of our leaders, now know some of the unbelievable shortcomings. So I hope from that standpoint, Judge, that there are lessons learned. And Dana, to your point, I hope they bring in someone new. They bring in someone outside of the field. And I wouldn't be disappointed if it was a DEI candidate. I would remind everybody, President Ford was almost killed. There was no DEI people there at the Secret Service. President Reagan was shot, and President Kennedy was killed. The Secret Service, at these points, when these government agencies break down and have this kind of dysfunction, we need to fix it. And Congress, you have a job. Give them the resources they need and put somebody else in charge over there, because the group we have now, they're putting our presidents in danger.
I'm not talking about the candidates being the agents being candidates of DEI. I'm talking about the system itself applying an unnecessary pressure on administration, whether it is the Secret Service or any company. I think that is a fairly justifiable criticism when you see what's going on, whether it is Boeing or Bud. We have too many examples of the primary concern of a company, or even the military, being distracted by this kind of woke mentality.
So you think the fact that their technology has been screwed up now for 10 years is because they hired too many blacks and women and Hispanics?
No. I'm talking about that what happens is the focus goes away. The DEI parallel universe has no impact on profit. And or customer service, or just excellent service in general. It takes away from that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about the candidates. I'm talking about the actual structure creating a burden on the people working there.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.